And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
You need a body shop? You need engine repair? Auto Excellence, Collision Specialists, 631-261-6420. That's 631-261-6420. Auto Excellence.
Thinking it over, the things you said to me. Started with something, with nothing, now we leave. So you were with me for a while, but now you're gone. And you know, wherever you go, I'm not far behind. I'm not far behind. Starting all over. Too many times we tried, pulling us under. Our time's been swept aside. So you were with me for a while, but now you're gone. And you know, wherever you go, I'm not far behind. I'm not far behind. Oh.
Hey, peeps. Matty Rock here. We are in the dungeon with AA, the Taskmaster, and our special guest, Jeff Weaver of Florida Championship Wrestling. Thanks so much for joining us today, Jeff. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you, sir, for having me on.
Appreciate you.
What's going on, buddy?
Not much, man. Just out being a promotion machine today. I got up at 6:30 and was on the road by 7. I've already dropped off 500 flyers. I'm at a big regatta race here near one of my venues. There's probably 10, 15,000 people here. I've been passing out flyers all day.
Right. Yeah. I think Andrew was still in his third or fourth dream at that time. I'm just saying. I know you call him that early. You're gonna get some grouchy shit coming on the other end of that phone.
I try to wait till at least 10 o'clock before I call him. He's not gonna.
Jeff, why don't you tell the people what you're trying to do?
What I'm trying to do, it's just like the bio that I have on our website. I'm trying to combine the past, the present, and the future of this business to try and make something special. That seems to be the recipe that's always worked over the years. That's the recipe that CWF used originally. And I think that's the same philosophy we should be sticking with now. Some of these guys seem to be having a problem with that. Why? I do not know. I mean, that's just the best recipe that's always worked. Why they're faulting me for using it is unheard of. Really, I have no idea why. And quite frankly, I'm tired even trying to figure it out. I'm going to stick on the philosophy that I'm using. I'm going to stick on the philosophy that's worked for 60 years, and we're going to see where this thing goes.
Great.
Well, Kevin, Jeff, tell us what's going on, what dates you have so far, and what's the big show is that on February 26th in Waimama at the what's the name of the venue that we're on?
Lake Waimama Convention Center in Waimama. It's maybe half a mile outside of Sun City, so it's pretty well centrally located in the middle of the state. A lot of neighborhoods around there. We've done several shows there in the past and always had great turnouts. And I expect this show to be even bigger than any of the other shows we've done there so far.
Now, correct me. That's closer to Sarasota.
Yeah, it's probably halfway between Tampa and Sarasota.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was near Sarasota or in Pensacola, so I wasn't sure what side. So,
Pensacola, Andrew, is in the Panhandle.
Panhandle, yeah, that's why I didn't know. I didn't know if we were running which side we were running on that way. So
Yeah.
I'm familiar with Florida, but more familiar with the Keys and Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, and Jacksonville areas, and Orlando, obviously. So, but
Yeah,
you got to tell us about the card you got coming out of I'd say mothballs, but I'd say Cuban mothballs is the Cuban assassin, Fidel Sierra. And from what I understand, he also has a position with you and Kevin in the front office.
Yeah, oh, yes, definitely does. I just done an interview with Tampa Tribune, which is pretty much the biggest newspaper in Florida. And it just so happens that the main sports writer, Paul Guzzo, is a huge CWF fan. And
Awesome.
he's the reason why I got access to the Sportatorium. It was an article that he wrote that made me pursue it, and I ended up, getting that lease on that building. So it's, Paul Guzzo is really the one that set this whole thing into motion without even knowing he was doing it. Just one little article
Awesome.
he wrote in the Tampa Tribune while I was having back surgery and couldn't get out of bed. I was sitting there bored for 3 weeks. I was in the hospital, and I sat there and I read that article, and all I could use was my hands. So I just used my hands to dial phone numbers on my phone, and I found the owner of that building, secured it, and then started doing research on who actually owned Championship Wrestling from Florida. And I found out that it was, never actually a company. It was the name of the show. The original Deep South Sports Incorporated was who actually owned the show. So I just kind of followed that same suit, started my company, and trademarked the name Championship Wrestling from Florida, so I could use it as my show name. And right shortly after I did that is when I met you and Kevin, and things just kind of snowballed from there. And we've been all over the country, man, trying to get this thing out there. And I don't think that'll stop anytime soon. So I know I'm not throwing drag.
Jeff, I have a question for Jeff.
Yes, sir.
When you've been in 106 North Albany, you see any ghosts?
Certainly. And anybody that, believes that ghosts are fake, I challenge you to spend a day with me in 106 North Albany, and I guarantee you will leave a believer.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I actually have a paranormal crew that's going to be coming in there with me as soon as I get the keys.
Good.
Give us a background on that story, Jeff, so everybody out there understands what we're talking about.
The 106 North Albany?
Yep.
That 106 North Albany, or otherwise referred to as the Sportatorium, is where almost all of the television tapings were done for Championship Wrestling from Florida in the old days. Gordon Soley was always there doing his thing, and that's where I got to see the greatest wrestlers in the world all come through Tampa. I mean, from Kevin Sullivan to Jake the Snake Roberts, I got to see all those guys there. I mean,
Barry Wynn, Jeff Mulligan,
yeah,
the original, my namesake, Purple Haze, Mark Lewin, obviously the Graham brothers.
We're forgetting the biggest one of all.
Oh,
Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes. Yes. And Eddie Graham, the godfather of it all, Eddie Graham.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you guys a history lesson. Do you know what North Albany was before it became the Sportatorium?
I do not.
No, sir.
It was a theater. I don't know if the building's still the same, but there used to be, when you walked in the front door as a fan, there were 2 windows there. That was originally to buy tickets to the theater. And if you go up top, I don't know how much they've changed it. There used to be a projector room.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's, I don't know if it's still in there. I haven't been allowed access to the upstairs of it yet. Just because everything's in disarray right now. They've done a lot of dismantling of the building in hopes of getting it, revamped. And right now I'm just waiting on them to finish the plumbing in HVAC because, you know, it never had
HVAC.
heat or air in there. It's either freezing cold or burning hot.
Yeah.
So they're putting HVAC in there, and it has to be a whole brand new system because it never had any plumbing for it or anything. So I'm waiting on that to be done. And then I have a crew, you know, a construction crew that I work with that's going to be moving straight in there to start redoing, you know, all the drywall because they ripped all the drywall out of the whole building. So we're going to be putting all that back in, all new floors, cleaning it all out, getting the ring and, you know, interview area all set back up. It's, you know, the next few months is going to be quite exciting, really, for Championship Wrestling from Florida.
That's
Sounds
pretty
good.
awesome. I'm
Very, very cool.
forward to that.
Jeff, where can everyone find you online on social media so they could check out what you got going on? So if you could throw out what your Twitter account is, IG, Facebook, and if you have a YouTube page, so everyone could start following along and enjoy the journey with you and figure out when the shows are.
Yes, sir. We have Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. All of them are Championship Wrestling from Florida. We have our website, which is Championship Wrestling from Florida, or it's actually CWFreloaded.com is the name of the website. Sorry about that. But everything right now, the website's being updated for the future events that we're having. I'm bringing in a lot of new people to the state of Florida that I've had my eye on over the years. You know, I do quite a bit of traveling, so I catch as many outside shows as I can in other states when I'm gone. And I've made a list of some guys that are just absolutely amazing talents, and I can't wait to bring them to Florida for the first time.
So it sounds pretty cool. Like you guys are already growing that territory out. You know, you got these two guys over there that will help make things even bigger with AA and Kevin.
Listen, name some of the talent that you've been looking at so we can give them a shout out.
Oh, we got guys like Casey King. This guy, man, is amazing. He's one of the most entertaining wrestlers I've seen in years. The guy just absolutely puts everything he has into every match. There's a guy named Beast Man. I know you know who he is. This man is Wes Fetty. Yes, he moves like Bam Bam. He does everything. You don't see many 400-pound, close to 400-pound men
Very amazing.
jumping off the top rope and stuff. And this guy does it nightly. He's amazing talent. I've talked with the Carnage crew, former Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. They would like to make a mark in CWF here in the future. I'm trying desperately to get a hold of the Briscoes. I would like to set up a match with them versus Carnage crew. I'd like to get a hold of George South. I would like to see the Purple Haze wrestling George South here soon. So
I love it.
We have some exciting stuff in the works.
Look, and let's not forget guys that we know. The great Charlie Haas.
Yes.
And Wabi Shafatu and the Almighty Sheik.
Yes,
There's
sir.
a lot of great talent out there. And Andrew and I have had the pleasure of watching them, or Andrew's had the pleasure of wrestling them. So it's really, really good.
Yes, sir. The Sheik, the Almighty Sheik, my Lord. If you watch him in the War Beast, those guys are insane. They literally put their bodies on the line every match they're in. I can't wait to get them to Florida.
Yeah.
One of the top, toughest teams there is right now, and they're undefeated, actually.
Yeah.
And the longest reigning,
that.
longest reigning tag team champions out there in California for PCW Ultra. Also, like I said, I was trying to say Rabies, our famous wrestling person, and the Tokyo Monster Kahagas, some of the great talent. Big Con from
I'd love to have all three of those men.
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. A lot of great talent. We were looking forward to coming in. Gangrel is Florida mainstay.
Definitely.
I was just a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, good times, man. Good times.
Here's a little piece of exciting news. Well, here's one last little piece of exciting news. Kevin, you know who the original announcer for CWF was, Mr. Jay Goodley. Jay Goodley, I've gotten, to be friends with over the years, and I have actually persuaded him into coming back. Wow. So we're going to have Jay Goodley back on the microphone once again for CWF.
That's pretty cool.
Terrific.
That's pretty cool. Now tell us about the February 26th event in Lake Waimama.
February 26th, Lake Waimama. It's going to be fabulous. I brought in a couple old rivals of mine, guys that I've had some slobber knocker matches with. George Rodriguez, the Mexican giant. The man's nearly 7 foot tall, 320 pounds, and he moves like a cat. I've never actually beaten him, but I have beaten him with a steel chair.
Whatever works, man. Whatever works.
We have Storm Thomas. He's making his farewell tour this year. I've had quite a nasty rivalry with this man. And to this day, he's the only person in this world who's ever legit knocked me out. So he's one tough son of a gun, man. I can't wait to get him in a CWF ring. He deserves it, and we definitely need him. We have the Midnight Tribe coming in for the first time tag team, and that's Jake St. Patrick and Sage Scott. These guys, I'm sure you've seen them on AEW. They're one of the few independent talents who actually got a good run in AEW. Let you know the quality of their work. I can't wait to get these guys together in a CWF ring. I think we're going to have some magic start to happen here this February show, and it's going to transfer right over into March, April, and May as well.
Of course, Kevin's not going to be with us in February, but I'm going to be there in February. The Purple Haze Andrew Anderson will be there. Yeesh.
Yeah. Don't forget that big guy on the cover. I mean, he's covering up half of it by himself. That's a big man. He means business when he gets in there. So
you know that, baby.
So Jeff, it sounds like you have some amazing things going on. So any of the talents out there listening,
even the guys that I didn't mention and the guys that aren't on my flyer, they're all absolute amazing talents, and everybody's going to get to see that soon.
So Jeff, any of the talent that's out there listening, they contact you directly if they'd like to be a part of what you have going on?
Contact me directly. My phone number's on all the social medias. It's on the website. Every phone call or email that goes to any of the social medias or website comes straight to me. So yeah, anywhere they choose to get a hold of me, go ahead. I will respond.
All right. So you're hearing that, guys and gals. It's important stuff that you get to be part of something big before it gets too big for you to be able to just be able to waltz on in there. And with that said, guys and gals, we just need a couple of moments to help pay for the bills. Hear from our sponsors.
The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah. M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Sport and non-sport cards, wrestling items, autographed items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J Video Games and Collectibles.
And we are back, kids, with the crew. We've got Jeff, we've got AA, we've got Kevin.
Awesome. Now, I want to ask Jeff a couple of questions. Now, tell us what capacity Ricky Santana will be working with us. The legendary Cuban wrestler Ricky Santana from WCW, the National Wrestling Alliance. He was an agent for Vince McMahon in the WWE. Tell us what's going on with that.
Oh, Ricky has been a part of CWF since the very first idea of it I had. He's one of the very first people I talked to about it. He's been a coach and a mentor behind the scenes for me for this whole time, and he's an absolute wonderful man. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard one person say a cross word about him ever. He's just one of the most delightful individuals you will come across in the wrestling business. Will you see him in the ring in the future? I mean, this is professional wrestling, man. Never say never. So, I mean, there is a good possibility of it. The little crap that's going on around here with the little cancel culture or whatever you want to call it. These guys are still able to go, man. So who knows what's going to happen? You may see him in there with some of these guys. Who knows?
Exactly. Well, doesn't Ricky one of the toughest men alive?
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it at all. The man's still 270 pounds, and he's in great shape. So just because he has a big smile all the time, don't mean he has to, you know.
Yeah. So Haku will be making an appearance, we hope, right?
Haku will definitely be in CWF soon. I can't wait for that. I'm very
Please-
excited for that day.
Please book him against Andrew.
Yes, please.
Andrew,
I like the nervous smile on an AA there.
I'm gonna have Linda Sullivan as my manager for that match and leave Kevin in the locker room because the only person that Haku would put over easily is Linda. Tell him the story, Kevin.
I was lucky enough to run 2 charity shows, and we had a charity show in the middle of Florida. I believe it was in the Sarasota area. And they had an after party, and Linda and Haku got into a bitch fight. And Haku had his feet up on the chair, laughing at her so hard. And she went and she said, "Who's your mama?" and pushed him. And he fell off the chair. And he was laughing so hysterically. And she started bitch slapping him and saying, "Who's your mama? Who's your mama?" And I went over and I said, 25 years of your reputation just went down the toilet. And he turned to me and said, "I put her over, brother, but not you." I said, "Let me help you up."
Let me dust you off there, brother.
Oh my God.
So yeah, so I'll take Linda Sullivan, the famous author of Old School, in my corner.
It's
So
right
that'll be
here.
my-
Here's
There
the
you
book,
go.
Old School.
That's
I
it.
definitely need a
Get
copy
it
of
at Amazon.com. It's doing pretty well. And we're looking for, right now, she's searching for somebody to turn it into a screenplay.
Yep. Actually, we're shopping it around right now, Kevin, right as we speak, right?
So
Right.
we're saying that we might have to talk to Ismarino and Del Harvey, is what you're saying.
Yep. Absolutely. Tell Harvey about it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Kevin, we have a friend of ours, Del Harvey, who created Hill Street Blues. He is very interested in the book.
Cool.
So Matty's not sitting on his laurels. Matty is working for us.
Yeah.
I'm still sitting on my laurels. I'm very good at that.
And Matty, what are we doing tonight? You and I.
Tonight, if you'd like to join us tonight, well, today's date, what are we, the 12th? The 12th, 8 p.m. live. And we will be on Bourbon Blog Live, Cigar Saturday, where we get to hear our buddy, Mr. Andrew Anderson. And Kevin, if you'd like to join too and throw a few shots at Andrew, you know, I'd highly appreciate that. I'd like it a lot. So
You got it.
And then Bourbon Blog, they tune in to the Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube channel and watch In the Dungeon with Kevin Sullivan, myself, Matty Rock, and of course, Jeff Weaver.
Thank you, sir.
that is correct. Jeff, is there anything else
that'll
you
be a
want to let people know that's coming up?
No, not right yet. I have some more information to drop. I just have to dot a few I's first.
Well, so basically what Jeff's saying, everybody, is you better stay tuned because he's got some stuff in the pipeline. So it looks like you're doing amazing things. You already know that you're working with amazing talent. You got Andrew, you have Kevin, you have all the other guys that you've mentioned.
So blessed.
So
So
it really
blessed.
looks like this is going to be some really amazing stuff going on, guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I mean, just this Wednesday, I'm flying out of JFK to the UK for from the 16th to the 21st for World Pro Wrestling. I'm wrestling against a WWE NXT UK guy, James Mason, who is a phenomenally talented individual. He's a veteran wrestler. He's been around, and me and him are going to have a pretty good a fight there. It's not going to be a wrestle match. It's going to be a fight. And because, you know, those Brits like to fight. They like to hammer it up. And I want to give a shout out to World Pro Wrestling. We got Sean Hernandez is on it, and Tajiri, amongst others, and Jody Fleisch. And it's going to be a hell of a show. And I can't wait to meet all my UK fans. I haven't seen them in almost 16 years. So to be back in the UK is something great. Of course, Kevin and I are going to be doing stuff. We're working for World Class as far Championship Wrestling, as far as I know, March 19th. And WrestleMania weekend, we're all going to be at WrestleCon. signing and shaking hands, kissing babies. And of course, we're going to be at a string of shows for World Class at WrestleCon, at Southern Junction, with our friend Tony, who owns Southern Junction, with Jerry Bostic, the promoter for World Class. And of course, I would be amiss if I didn't give a shout out to our dear friend and sponsor, Craig Massey of Massey Contracting, who right now is a business in Saudi Arabia with his oil and gas company that he does, and his Massey labor force that he puts into use, into good use, and gives people a lot of jobs, and is a real good guy. Another person that I want to really reach out and thank is Matty Rock, because Matty, you have had our backs from day one, and you've really put it on the map. And Jeff, you like to smoke cigars, don't you, Jeff?
Yes, sir.
So I think what Andrew is saying, AA is saying is, I'm going to need you to text me an address, Jeff, and we'll get you some goodies out there, brother, and some swag. We'll trade for swagger. You'll get some cigar hats, and maybe I'll get a CWF hat. I'm just saying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will send you some hats and shirts. No problem at all.
Outstanding.
Oh, actually, I have my website's being updated. I'm having a merch store added to my website really soon. It should be on there within the next month. I mean, cups, koozies, you name it. You can have it with the CWF brand right on it.
Awesome.
Listen, can we make Andrew Anderson condoms, Purple Haze condoms?
I don't know if there's that much latex.
Oh, see, I was thinking the little thing, those little finger covers you get. Amazon sells that shit cheap, right? The little
Thimbles. They can use thimbles.
Yeah. So and Kevin knows. Look, they spend a lot of time together. Look, the Taskmaster doesn't lie.
He's got that little binky like this all the time, hanging out like a little pinky.
Oh boy. Look, Kevin's already thinking about the next terrible things that are going to happen.
He's always quick with the letters.
Kevin, where'd you go? That one flung insult? I don't see video anymore. What'd you do? You just
we lost him with the binky comment.
I think he's probably planning his revenge, if I were to guess.
Well, yeah. He probably had a technical difficulty. Him, he sneezes and they're launching missiles in Russia.
Oh boy.
So he's not very good at the computer sometimes. So the phone, he loses his connections a lot. I told him, I said, Kevin, don't press that button. You're gonna be launching missiles out of Siberia. And he looks at me and goes, shut up. I know what I'm doing. And then he says, give me the phone. And he take his phone. He's worried he has to use my phone because he locked himself out of his phone because he couldn't remember his password.
And see, that's the beauty of the show. We will shit talk to your face and behind your back, right, Kevin? Poor Kevin. We know. I believe he's coming back.
There I am. Got a phone call. Cut me off.
We thought you had enough of Andrew's shit after that last comment, and you just bailed.
Yeah.
Did you go put some water in the dog dish?
Not yet.
Oh boy, that's code that you guys may or may not hear on another show.
This is a personal question. I want to ask. I know, Matty, you don't have a dog, but Jeff, I know you have dogs, and Kevin, of course, you do. How the hell do I stop my dog from rolling in the dirt? She rolls around in dried dog shit where she shit in the yard a month ago, finds it, rolls around in it, and comes in the house.
How the hell do you turn this into Animal Planet, AA?
Yeah.
What do I got to do? Find the dog whisperer? Talk to my dog?
Yeah.
Is it just
Caesar
instinct?
Milan, I think is.
Jeff, I never had a dog that does this. I never had this problem before.
I got to tell you, this is why I don't have a dog. This is why I don't have a dog, because unlike what the movie says, not all dogs go to heaven. Catch my drift? Yeah.
Right.
My Jessie's an angel, but she's a filthy beast.
Not far from the father.
Yes, well played. Andrew, you got nothing on that one. You're just like, well,
I don't have nothing on that one. I don't have nothing on that one. So, but listen, to guys, I want to give you guys another shout out to Monty and the Pharaoh, thanking them for Mike, Monty, and Jimmy Farrow for having us on their platform. Of course, they have a show with Vampiro on there. They also have a show with Wolfie D, which Kevin just did, that show with Wolfie D. So we're cross-pollinating with other guests and other podcasts. We're trying to make this very, very Very, very user friendly. You don't necessarily have to be on the Monty and the Pharaoh network to be on our show or to have us guest on your show. We really try to do what we can for everybody. And Kev, let's give it. Why don't you help us exit out on this episode today? Give us some closing thoughts.
I want to say thank you and good luck, Jeff. And I know you're going to make it. And Matty, call me when you want me to be on tonight. Just give me a call back.
We'll give you a link because if you're not trashing AA, the show just doesn't seem quite right.
Yeah. Okay, Bubba. Thank
All
you,
right.
guys.
Much love, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you all next week. Much love. Peace out.
Yeesh, yeesh.